Okay, it's your girl Squeeze Jones, aka Killer Queen T, aka Blackout T, aka don't sit over there, come sit over here. Oh my god, why the fuck I have to cuss. I'm judging you. I'm gonna try to get y'all two this time around. Since I wasn't here yesterday, I didn't come into work. I was like, I ain't coming in. And I ain't come in. I ain't coming to work. Alright? Don't judge me. It was off on the photo, so. Why, chapter 2, why must you suck at friendships? Friends are bonus gifts of life because they are the people who are closest to us who aren't really required to be there. They're not bound by blood, and they won't be at the family reunion. So you can drop them if you need to with no problem. Unless you're roommates. In which case you're bound by lease. And did they really have to chat you to tell you the rent is due? Like you haven't been on time, everyone? I mean, that's just ridiculous. Ugh. Good friends often are lifelines. Mine have seen me through heartbreaks, through the death of loved ones, and through that phase in college when I was obsessed with denim jumpsuits and matching fingerless gloves. They stayed by my side in spite of the fact that I chose to look like bad decisions and Levi's factory remainders. For this, I am forever indebted to my BFFs, but just as there are those... Alright. But just as there are those amazing comrades who make our lives better with their presence, there are also those who might be bringing down our property value. Friendship is a two-way street. And some people block the way like a parked U-Haul truck in the middle of your road of friendship. So school buses can't get past. And that's just rude. Although life doesn't have actual violation tickets, some people should get the boot. Some folks don't deserve nice things, like matching friendship forever bracelets. I am judging those of us who are these friends. The friend who competes with me, the competitor. It is said that we are the sum of the 5 people we hang out with the most. This means we would draw inspiration from our closest friends, seeing their growth and triumphs as a push to do better ourselves. But then there's the friend who I like to call the competitor. This is a person who feels like their life is a direct competition with others, and any win for someone else means they must trump it. Do not be this friend, because we're not all in the same race. So why do you think we're in the same lane? It happens like this. Something fantastic happens, and you pick up the phone to tell the competitor. They applaud you momentarily, then they remind you of something they did that was similar, but at a higher level. Every single time. They're so used to doing it that they don't even realize it. And you start telling them your good news less and less. If you tell them that you got a good job, they tell you that they've been promoted to the top flight job haver of the world. If you say that you got an A on your paper, they retort that their paper was considered the best in the class. Their superpower is being able to make any good news that you have into something about them, and you will eventually realize that they really do not wish you well. Your joy is an ever-present reminder of their failures, and nobody needs that in their life. The competitor will get engaged at your wedding, just so the spotlight can be on them. Then you'll have to have your baby at their reception as they cut the cake. She said, then you have to have your baby at their reception as they cut their cake to return the favor. You will get afterbirths. You will get afterbirths after all the useless, ugly ass gives ugly ass away. Neon tubbly bridesmaid dress that you wear that they made you wear because they didn't want you to outshine them. It's a circle of life of pettiness. The friend who will call when they need something, the SOS pal. The friend who only calls when they need something, the SOS pal. We all go through tough times when everything sucks, and we just need to lay our burdens on the ears and shoulders of our friends. Needing support during hard times is a part of life, and our friendship villages exist partly so they can hold us up when we're weak. When times are better for us, we in turn reciprocate that love and support. However, there are some friends who are only around when they are in need. They take, but when it's time to give, they're missing in action. Like the edges of someone whose braids have been too tight for 10 years. I like to call these friends SOS pals. I am judging people who allow themselves to be an SOS pal so often it becomes a part of their character. SOS pals will call you whenever they're in a crisis mode and need help. You might have to loan them money, bail them out of jail, or ask them to alibi when they've been doing something they weren't supposed to. They broke, you get a call. They need a job, your inbox blows up. They sad that day, you get a sad emoji in your text. You put on your therapist caretaker suit for them, and now you are the Batman to their Gotham. This is a codependence, and it can become unhealthy, especially when your relationship with this friend is relented on you always playing Captain Saver Pal. You do it because this is what friends are for, not because you're expecting some medal of honor. However, this principle falls to pieces when you do not hear from SOS Pal when things are on the upswing for them. In bad times, you're in their phone's favorite list, but in good times, you only find out what they're up to via social media along with everyone else. You go from bestie to follower quick, finding out that they're now engaged, or they got that promotion at the same time as their 7th grade classmate who they just friended on Facebook the week before. When normally they're taking a call me anytime you need Montana, literally from 3 a.m. cyber conversations. They know your number when they have a dilemma, but forget it for celebrations. SOS Pals also does not call you to check up on you. And there have been times when they called you in their emergency and you mentioned yours, but they brushed it aside because this is about my pain. You end up feeling taken advantage of because your friendship is truly one-sided. When I was in college, my BFF was de facto therapist of our dorm floor. People would go to her room at all hours to vent and cry and whine and throw tantrums. She was an always present listening ear who was wise beyond her 20-year-old self. Everyone was an SOS pal to her because none of us seemed to realize she was going through her own struggles and heartbreak. Then one day she left a note on the dry eraser board on her door. I'll run away. Wipe your own asses from now. Management. Touche. Touche all the shades. We all have been SOS pals at some point in our lives, but when we are out of our circle crisis bed, we need to make an effort to also be there for those who we just use as pillows. Don't drop your burdens on people without also being willing to drop some blessings on them too. They are not your dumping ground for life's problems. How do you know if you're an SOS pal? Look at the last text or calls or emails you sent to your good friends. Have they been all about you for some time? Then yes, you are one. Call your friends up and ask how they're doing. The friend who would one day get us beat up or arrested, the adventurer. I'm probably this friend. There are some friends who push us out of our comfort zones. And the adventurer, aka reckless Robin, is that type of friend. They live their life on the edge. And sometimes, okay, no, that's not me. And sometimes it gets them into messy situations. They act like rock stars, but without the fame and money. The adventurer is captain of Team No Chill because they love being spontaneous in every way. They turn a simple brunch into an event worth telling the story about later. You love them for keeping you on your toes, but you kind of feel for your safety when you're with them. Going out with them is like going on the Oregon Trail. You might end up having an exciting adventure, or you might end up with Dynasty. They really do emphasize turn up and rules are meant to be broken. They are basically that friend your parents warned you about. The adventurers enjoy drama. You're probably afraid to travel with them. What if you end up in jail on another continent because they convinced you to visit that museum after it closed? I like survival skills, and I don't need my life to resemble a sequel to The Hangover. Although my adventurer friend can be a great time, Like when she took me to get a tattoo in Miami at 1 a.m. from Lil Wayne's artist. We got my friend Miami Chihuahua drunk off 2 strawfuls of margarita at Wet Willie's, and then we slept by a pool at a random hotel till morning. Then we got our luggage and went straight to the airport, smelling looking like last night's bed, but fun decisions, good times. Eventually, friends are down for anything, and sometimes that means they're also down to fight. You're afraid to go out with them because they might say something that somebody will take the wrong way, and then you might find yourself having to defend them. You realize that even though you know how to talk mad shit, when it comes down to actual execution of a proper fight, you are ill-equipped. You won't get your ass beat if a Jets versus Shark situation want to go down. You have to hope it never comes to that. And that you can instead just circle each other and settle with a running man competition. Still, everyone needs at least one friend in that squad to keep life interesting and to be in charge of their bachelorette party, even if you end up late to the altar hungover and wondering if you broke some vows before even reciting them. If you're this friend, I'm not really judging you as much as envying you. You have way better stories than I do. Also, no, I do not want to come to Antarctica to float on glazers for 3 days. I'll be looking forward to your pics though. Send me a postcard. The friend you can't trust. The Lancer. Turn into a quick ASMR real quick. Hold on. This not gonna be a things that don't belong here, even though this is something that probably. Oh, I just took that out. I put that on. I put both of those in the wrong spot. I gotta go get that. I cut myself off good. My hair though. There are some people who feel we are obligated to remain friends with because of either proximity or history. Maybe you were born at the same hospital on the same day and your mom was like BFFs because of it. Or maybe you have so many friends in common, there's no way you won't have to see or hang out with this person. You might really enjoy their company because they're fun to be around. Unfortunately, you know you can't trust them. They have done things in the past to others around you, and you could tell that they could easily do the same to you. Like the time they slept with your other friend's boo. Or when they stole from someone and got caught. Maybe they did something treacherous and later apologized, but there are some things you cannot come back from. Again, they might have done nothing to you personally, but like Mama Maya Angelou says, when people show you who they are, believe them. So you know the Lancer is not to be trusted. You will not leave them alone in your house, and they surely cannot stay overnight. You don't mind inviting them to brunch, but you have to compartmentalize the friendship. Keeping them at arm's length is your best bet. And the way to keep them from infiltrating your life with foolishness. College was full of these friends, but you managed to drop many of them after the pomp and circumstance of graduation. This type of person will stab you in the back, and then they use that same knife to butter their bread at your group brunch the next week. Basically, they're Lancers from Game of Thrones. You might not like hanging out with them, but it's safer to be able to keep an eye on them. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. The friend who you don't really know, the surface. We all know that mysterious friend who went on for years and years, We might have gone to elementary school, high school, and college with them. They are part of so many of our memories that they are more than just acquaintances. However, you don't really know them beyond the surface level because they are very guarded with everything. They take real G's moving in silence like groms to new heights. Are they in a relationship? You have no idea. What is that pet's name? When did they get a pet anyway? What kind of job do they have? You're not sure. Are they in the CIA? I feel like everyone knows this friend. Tommy from the TV show Martin. I like to know what the people in my life do for a living. Does that make me nosy? If so, I'm okay with it. I just enjoy knowing that everyone in my circle is gainfully employed and prospering at whatever occupation they've chosen. And unless being forever unemployed is your stated life choice, I expect to know something about how you make your livelihood. One of the things we all assume is that to function as adults, you have to make money. And to do that, you have to get a job. Unless you're a trust fund baby. But one day we realized that one or a group of our friends seemingly have jobs and yet no one knows what they do. We try our best to get clues from them and they never give us a straight answer. We even asked if they're on LinkedIn because at least that would tell us. And when we finally found them, the only info on their portfolio is the college they went to. I see what you did there. You won this round. Their major isn't listed, or it's something like literal studies. If you went to college together, you don't remember them being at graduation because they probably skipped the ceremonies to do some concert. Maybe set a degree once in a Facebook picture, but only their name was visible. So at least they post back. When you realize that Google isn't turning up anything useful either, you decide to ask them outright, what do you do? Then they act like telling you will put the Republic's security in jeopardy, giving a completely vague answer that leaves you more confused than you were to begin with. Sir, are you a member of B613? Are you a secret operative on an undercover mission to make us all question your ability to hold down a job? What is the big deal? Look here, Tommy. You with your clear business card and your office in the building with no windows. I hope what you doing isn't illegal. In fact, it's best you don't tell me. If I got a random subpoena one day with your name on it, it's best that when I say I don't know, I'm not lying. I should probably stay in the dark. With the surface, you just come to accept that you will never know what they do or how much know much about their life. You love them anyway, even though every time they start talking about their rough day at work or vaguely you want to yell, what is it that you do, Tommy? But again, you reach acceptance. They're still a homie, but side eye. The friend who is mean, the frenemy. Some friends make you wonder why you have enemies because they are literally mean girls and boys. They make it their job, their life purpose to use you or someone else in your group as a verbal punching bag. They might try to disagree. Dang, you did good. I love it. Love it. Whole chapter. They might try to disagree with backhanded compliments, but their true colors shine through. They're good for uttering statements like, let's go out to eat tomorrow. I know you don't go to the gym now. As they look you up and down, they throw so much shade that you have to use your flashlight app when you're around them. The worst part is that because they know your insecurities, they're apt at picking at your emotional scabs. Why are you still friends? Probably because they weren't always like this, and the good memories from your long friendship prevent you from dropping them like a bad habit. However, not me. Too much of that shit, bad habit, drop. However, at this point, they are one more common away from you kicking them in the ankles. Maybe life is rough for them right now, but they don't have the right to be such butt wipes. Actually, drop them. Maybe when they learn to be nice to people, you can be friends again, or not. The friend who yeses you to death, the enabler. Okay, we got two more friends left. Friendship isn't about the exact same opposites all the time, or never having an argument. Friends should also be able to tell us tough truths and help correct things we do that aren't on point. This is why the friend who cheers on every single thing you do is not the best. They never challenge you, even when something you do is obviously wrong. Take their shopping, and they will never convince you that everything you pick up will look, and they will convince you that everything you pick up looks amazing on you. You test them by picking up some jersey cut cloths, and they swoon. This is how you know they cannot be taken at their word. Cutlets look good on nobody. And when their jersey knit, the number of wedgies one will get throughout the day is unforgivable. Friends don't let friends wear jersey cutlets on ironly. Your enabling friend is a sweetheart and the opposite of a mean girl. You just wish they have a different opinion once in a blue moon. But you enjoy the fact that you could go to them and get a high five for even the dumbest things you do. The friend who is undependable, the flake. Then there's a person we all know and love who's as unreliable as a meteorologist in Chicago. You live in the same city as them, but you only see them once a year. Why? Because their superpower is that they will find a way to flake out of any and every event. How do you catch a cloud and pin it down? You cannot. Flaky friends just cannot help themselves. They love making plans, but the day or the night before, they send you a text with some vague excuse as to why they cannot make it. That's actually them being good with follow through, because sometimes they cancel at the time you were supposed to meet. You sit at the table next to the window when you get a text from them about how they got stuck in the suburbs, and you shake your fist because you should have known better. The worst is when they forget you even have plans at all, and you just wait for an hour before hitting them up and get the, oh my God, was that today? Routine. Damn it. The flake is just so undependable, and it's a lesson you will learn over and over again. You love them dearly, but if you ever on fire, they'll say they'll put you out and then show up without a bucket of water because they forgot they never borrowed it. Come on, you had one job. Ugh. This friend is good for one thing. When you want them to have a reason not to go somewhere, use them as an excuse, and no one who knows them will think to blame you. Oh man, I really want to go, but I made plans with the flake, and then she canceled at the last minute. So unfortunate. Sips wine. Last friend, the friend who disapproves, the holy roller. I love Jesus as much as the next person, but some friends are hard to be around when they are Jesus. All the time. Of course, there's nothing wrong with taking pride in your spiritual beliefs, but they take it overboard, and it makes them hard to talk to. You have to second guess your decision to invite them to girls' night in because you know you're all going to start talking about sex, and that makes them uncomfortable. Can grown people please have healthy conversations about who we decide to do the horizontal tango with without the judgy eyes? Oh my goodness, the holy roller got. You slept with him and you only know him for a year? Wow, that's a long time. That's actually good. Good for you. The worst part is when you remember how free they were before they got born again. You don't want to point out the hypocrisy, but because the high horse that's in on looks comfortable, but you're tempted. You can't tell them anything you're doing if it isn't sanctioned and holy. You can only say about so much. So they're the friend you tell when you finally go to church on Easter. And then they're proud and you think the efforts that converted you are finally working. And you can't tell them that the only reason you went is because you knew mom would side-eye you if you didn't. At one point or another, we all been one of these bad friends, even if it's just for a spurt of time. The key is to not embody these traits. We shouldn't make a habit of being the anti-golden girl. Although Blanche, I feel like one of them was very mean. Would totally sleep with your husband, probably on your wedding night too. And we did it, y'all. I was y'all in that chapter, but I'm gonna go hard tomorrow. We're not gonna go hard today. I hit these streets, y'all. I was in these streets. Y'all like, Twitch, you was in these streets? I was in these streets. In these streets. Cause I was like, Twitch, you got me for these streets? I don't know. Cause Parents Time said we ain't. I was at the end. Y'all ain't even here. You still here? Thank you. High five. High five again. I'm so proud of you for sticking through. And not leaving me. Hold on, let me eat a piece of couple more bites for this for y'all. I told them to give me more bacon, and they gave me more Italian sausages because they don't listen. I'm gonna add this in the end. Okay, y'all make it swallowing. Wow. No. So every side out of the video like, oh, she eating that pizza? That was a real good slice. Yeah, I did that. Chapter and a little AMSR.